All right, today we are going to talk about multiplying matrices. I mentioned to you that it's a little bit complicated, so I decided to devote an entire lesson to that. So here we go. We've talked about the dimensions of a matrix and how it's always expressed as rows by columns. So if I have a matrix that looks like this, that's going to be a 3 by 4 matrix because it has 1, 2, 3 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. All right, so in order to determine the dimensions of a product matrix, I'm going to give you some examples and see if you recognize what the pattern is. So if I multiply a 2 by 3 by a 3 by 4, I will get a 2 by 4. If I multiply a 3 by 1 by a 1 by 7, I will get a 3 by 7. If I multiply a 5 by 2 by a 2 by 9, then the result will be a 5 by 9. And take a minute if you need to see the pattern. But there's two things we need to realize. In order to multiply any two matrices at all, then the two middle numbers must be the same. So the number of columns from the first row, or from the first matrix, must be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. All right? And then, to get the dimensions of my answer, I will take the number of rows from my first matrix and the number of columns from my second matrix, and that will tell me the dimensions of my answer. Okay, so that's the pattern I hoped that you would see. So now let's actually get to multiplying these. To do that, we're going to multiply the elements of each row in the first matrix by the corresponding elements of each column in the second matrix and add them up. Okay, so we've got this matrix here. That is a 2 by 3. And that's being multiplied by a 3 by 2. So that means I will get a 2 by 2 matrix as my answer. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each number in the first row by each number in the first column. And it's not like distributive property where I've got to multiply this 5 by everything here. I only multiply the first number here in this row by the first number in the column. And I multiply the second number in the row by the second number in the column. And I multiply the third number in the row by the third number in the column. And I add all of that together. So basically what I have is 5 times 6 plus 1 times 0 plus 0 times 1. And that is 30. Okay? Then, to get the number in the top right corner, I will multiply the top row by the right column. So it will be 5 times negative 1 plus 1 times 2 plus 0 times 5. And if I add all of that together, I get negative 3. To get the number in the bottom left corner, or second row, first column, I will actually multiply the second row by the first column. Okay? That's the pattern. That's kind of how you can tell which row and which column you're multiplying. It's the same as the row and the column of where your answer is going to go. So I'm going to do 4 times 6 plus 3 times 0 plus negative 2 times 1. And that is 22. And then for the last one, which is in the second row, second column, that is going to be 4 times negative 1, 3 times 2, negative 2 times 5, all added together, and that is negative 8. And that is the answer. So I have one for you to do. You're going to take this 3 by 2 and multiply it by this 2 by 3. Okay? And just as a hint, your answer should be a 3 by 3 matrix. So pause the video, see if you can answer that question, and we will check our answers once you start playing the video again. All right, so your answer, it should be a 3 by 3 matrix, and your answers should be 5, 4, 1, 3, 0, negative 1, negative 4, 1, 2. All right, so how do we apply this? Well, let's say I've got a restaurant called McDonald's, and they sell burgers for $2.89, fries for $1.89, and drinks for $1.09. Burger Fling has burgers for $2.69, fries for $1.99, and drinks for $1.19. John wants a burger, 2 fries, and a drink. So 1 burger, 2 fries, 1 drink. Max wants 3 burgers, 1 order of fries, and 2 drinks. So which price is better? So the first matrix, I've got the number of items and the people. So this is John's order here, and this is the second guy's order. I already forgot his name. So, and then in the second matrix, I've got how much each item costs. So these are the burger prices, fry prices, and drink prices. If I multiply those matrices together, that's what I get. So this is John's cost at McDonald's and his cost at Burger Fling, and this is the other guy's cost at McDonald's and Burger Fling. So John's meal costs less at McDonald's, and Max's meal costs less at Burger Fling. So that's just a quick application of how to use multiplication of matrices. We'll go over this again tomorrow, so if you have any questions, please let me know.